we're 276 days in. 276 in numbers comes to Sunday, October 19th. And that began the marker for the F1 timeline into the storm. The storm still hasn't arrived, but it's imminent. It's still coming. So what can we do to prepare? Who's in the chat? Let's see. Are they going to let's talk about this. So for new viewers, when I talk about numbers, we're talking about A equals 1, first letter of the alphabet. B is 2, C is 3. Hey, Jacob, Stacy, Justin. Yeah, we can feel it in our bones. We can feel it. Hey, buddy. Hey, Matthew. So let's see if they let everyone in. 310. 310, that's appropriate. I'm going to talk about 310 in a few moments. California. Sandy. Tennessee. Carolina, South Carolina. Idaho. My own private Idaho. Point Break came on last night on TV with Keanu Reeves. You got River Phoenix from there. Oklahoma. Okay, folks. And hit the hype button if you would. That will help. And subscribe. We're getting a lot of new viewers come in. If you want to get the latest on where we're going, hit the subscribe button. That helps the channel. We're getting less censored, but we still are getting censored, and it's okay to talk about it YouTube, because you've already confessed to being censoring people last month, but you still are. Not as bad, but you still are, so ease off on it, yeah. But audience, please hit the hype button, and that will be great. Thanks, Dashboard, appreciate it. So, I just mentioned 310. So just before the show, I got a notification, and I've seen a few. Okay. Hey, Suzanne, hit the notifications though, hit the double bell. If you hit the double bell, that will help with notifications. So I saw something about this a week or so ago, and again, I just got another notification on something else. So in Germany, 3 days ago, apparently, I've seen the report, actually, I've seen it online, they've been advising their citizens to prepare in case of some kind of emergency. I think they said in case of a war, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. I'm not saying it will necessarily go that far, but they have been putting out, they did it in the UK press a week or so ago, about just being prepared, and talked about dust as well. And I mentioned that before. Dust is in the film Interstellar. So I don't know fully what that would entail. Maybe it's something we could get complete along the timeline, or maybe there will be. Because some of these things seem to get neutralized as we go along. Q Street in Sacramento, very cool. But the thing that I was saying in Germany's 83, which is circuit, as in Circuit of the Americas. German is 58, which is XRP, Nessara. Germans, 77, Power, Hertz, Christ. So the German people, great people. I know some great Germans. Klinsmann, the footballer, I know. He was a great soccer player. And he's actually done an endorsement on the channel a few years ago, if you look in the video shorts. But what this article said is, it said, prepare, have kind of a stockpile, have items like just kind of, I guess, food essentials and water for 3 to 10 days. That's what it said. That's what it said. And there were similar things here in England about a week or so ago. So they're not hitting it super heavy, but they are putting it out there to just have something. And I guess if it was something like a 3 to 10 day event, I mean, there's been the thing of 3 days of darkness, the 10 days of darkness. 310 to Yuma. 310, last year's November election. If you were with me on the show back then, you'll remember that 310th day of the year last year on the leap year was November 5th, and that's when that was the turning point for everything. President Trump got back in and then was able to start to exercise all the things that we're starting to see now. 310 to UMA. 310 comes to the quantum financial system, 310. On the negative side, it's also the creature from Jekyll Island. So this is what happens with the numbers. So all numbers are intrinsically good. Okay, is that good? Oh, nice one. I like that. I'll have to screenshot that one if that's... I'll have to remember that one. Fantastic. So the creature from Jekyll Island, the negative monster that gobbled up everyone's money through printing money out of thin air. The quantum financial system is the opposite of that, 310. So the creature from Jekyll Island, 310. The quantum financial system, 310. 310 to Yuma. President Trump kept going down to the wall in Yuma. Wall is 48. Wall is Tom, 48. Zim is 48. So in terms of like the humanitarian funds and RV, etc. So, hey Melissa, good to see you. Hey DJ. Yo DJ, spin that wheel. New Jersey. So people that are scriptural will know their Bible stuff. So Malachi, the last book in the Bible, in the Old Testament, Malachi chapter 3 verse 10, it talks about the windows of heaven being opened amongst the people, God pouring out a blessing upon the people. Windows is 107, which is currency. Windows 107 is military, 107. Trumps is 107. Eternal life is 107. Quantum is 107. Superman is 107. Guantanamo is also 107. Aquarius is 107. So the windows of heaven pouring out a blessing upon the people, that it'll be so large there won't have enough space to receive it, enough room to receive it. That's Nesara Jasara, you see. That's what that is. Whether it's named that, I'm happy with those names, but whatever it's called, that's what that's describing. It's talking about the abundance about to be poured out upon the earth and its inhabitants, the meek, the strong, the true, the pure. And that X marks the spot on that scriptural reference, 310. And President Trump kept going down to the wall in Yuma, 310. There's a film, Yuma, 310 to Yuma. There's two of them. They were so good they made it twice, one version and then another one. So, but they were saying about preparing for 3 to 10 days. And so, blackout necessary. Will it be 3 days of darkness? Will it be 10 days of darkness? It says it's necessary. It's almost like the lights go out, if that's what it literally will be. And then they do the final kind of preparations and clearing and restoring and putting. It's almost like Christmas. All was quiet except for the mouse. You know the phrase, I missed quoting that one, but you know what I mean. And then everyone comes down and sees all the gifts. So it could be something like that. And depending on where you're at in your life, depending on what your consciousness is, it will depend upon your experience. As with COVID, everyone's experience of COVID was different. There we go. We've got 303 in the chat, 88 thumbs up. So it might be prudent, and this isn't to scare anyone, this is just to let you know. And you'll probably see some other occasional reports on it. I don't think it will be quite as widespread as the stuff with COVID, because we got kind of a 2-week run-in before that all happened. Whoville, there you go. So, but anyway, and now look, we've got 310 in the chat. See, as I'm telling you, and then 97 thumbs up. That's crypto. So the quantum financial system, crypto, or the crypto quantum financial system, 310 plus 97. 97 is beautiful through. So we've got to go through that 310 moment, and how it will physically manifest, I don't know totally, but they are letting people know in a kind of subtle, fairly regular way. There's 326. 326 is November 22nd. That's the day of JFK. 326, and I think that's when we see the Vegas F1 stuff. Something around that's coming. We've got 106 thumbs up, so 106 is network. what's the network down there. So just, it might be worth, getting a bit of water, or maybe just filling, canisters up, etc. A bit of fuel, a bit of water, a bit of food. But I don't think, whatever it is, I don't think it will be particularly long. And if what we've all been thinking as well, we'll see military, then I think there'll be, if it's National Guard or military on the streets or whatever it is, I think there'll be people, those that don't have supplies will be helped. But it's always good to help yourself and be prepared first. Like President Trump says, America first, then you can help yourself and then help others. Hey, Alex, good to see you from Scotland. So that's the second report I've seen of that in probably the last week or so, maybe just slightly over a week in the last, at least twice. One for England, one for Germany. Yeah, nothing to be feared of, nothing to be scared about, but just to prepare a little bit if you haven't done so. You might still have preparations and stores from COVID. I think I've still got one or two of those. Not really a great fan of canned food per se, but and dry packet soups and things, but I did get a few in just in case, because we didn't know what was coming, did we? That's the thing, we didn't know. And it was okay in the end. But they've put those things out, and you'll probably see one or two of them in your countries, in your regions. And so just a bit of preparation, nothing to get, too concerned about. I mean, if something happened now, boom, and you didn't prepare at all, 3 to 10 days, everyone would be okay. I did just to let you know, so the thing with water, I did a water fast of almost a dry fast. I did a water fast first for 4 days last year, and then earlier this year I did a dry fast, meaning no water, food, nothing, for almost 5 days. And if people had told me that I would do that before, I think I was insane, because we've had the rule about you can't live longer than 3 days without water. That's not true. That's incorrect. You could probably go for a lot longer if you had to, but you'll have access to water. So I share that with you because that's a real life experience. I did that as a kind of test to do the fasting. You look on fasting and people have done dry fasts for a lot longer. You have to, hey Starfire, you have to, it was almost 5, it was 8 hours shy of 5 days. So it was 4 days and 16 hours. So, because what happens is your body actually converts any body fat into, one of the byproducts is water, so you're actually able to hydrate with it. So that's what it is. I guess similar, maybe like how camels do it. They've got the fat reserve on the hump, and that's water. So that's an actual thing, and you can study that. But I tried it, and it's an actual real thing. So yeah, we are with water. And talking of water, it's good. So I've got, if you click the links below, I've got the morphogenic Qelby balls, the Qi balls. So what I do is I purify my water. I get clean water, distilled water, add electrolytes to it, and then I put it in a container with those brown, kind of morph brown balls, and they're somatoid balls, and they give a wonderful creamy charge to the water. So I do that. I leave it overnight, and then the sun hits it in the morning, and it's the first thing I drink in the morning. So the links are below. Morphogenic Qelby balls. So that might be something you want to get, actually. And the good thing about that is that they last forever. You don't have to charge them. You can use them forever. Hey, I'm glad you caught the live. That's fantastic. Hit the subscribe and hit the hype button. So there are things that we can do to prepare. Don't go overboard. You might be totally fine, but if there's one or two things, maybe, we saw that everything before COVID, how everyone kind of got, ramped up. Right now, I would say just a little bit of preparation, just awareness, bit of preparation, really. And I don't really talk too many times about things like that, but it's come up a couple of times. So it's like, okay, well, I'll share it with you. And England's mentioned it. Germany has now mentioned it. There'll probably be things in the States and other territories, other countries that will start to say it. 404, that's my grandparents in the chat. There you go. So, and another thing as well. So you know the Q post that talks about blackout necessary. It says blackout necessary, dark to light. I think there's another phrase, and then it says boom, 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 boom. And the question, it's a famous Q post, and the question is, when is that? What is that? So if you do blackout necessary, it's 194, which comes to September 11th, 194. It also comes to New Yorker Hotel. And then dark to light is 125, which is 8th Avenue, which is that hotel, the Tesla hotel that it's on. The same road as where Madison Square Garden is, Penn Street Station, and just off a junction, about a quarter of a mile away is Empire State Building. So it's quite a power thing on the grid there in New York. But I was looking at the numbers on that. So if you do blackout necessary, 194, and then dark to light 125, which is the numbers, time travel, John Kennedy, October 19. Any of those versions, and you add those together, that comes to 319. And 319, yeah, it's 319. It is 319, isn't it? Yeah, it is 319. So that's a week before JFK. The day of JFK on the 326th day, which is November 22nd. So that would take you to November 15th. Now, I don't know if that's blackout necessary. I don't know. But it's an interesting one, and it's an interesting post. And President Trump has done things before about transition to greatness. He did it a couple of years ago on November 15th. This is before he got back in on the second election. He's mentioned November 15th before. So it's an interesting date that has popped up. And it's an interesting number, 319, which is a week before November 22nd on 326, the 326th day of the year. There you go. God bless the Guardians. Yeah, I'm sure we got some Guardians here in the chat. So, and it'd be great when everyone sees all that. There you go. 159. That's the other one, isn't it? A week to remember. That's the other part of the post. So we've got 150. There you go. Thanks for that. We got 159 thumbs up. It's now 160. But another one is, so it's a week to remember is 159. So 159, a week to remember, comes to cloning facility. The world, I believe, is going to have to find that out soon. And I think they're all over the place. And it will make sense about all the bonkers things that have gone on in life. And even the people that you deal with on the surface. A week to remember, 159, is Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad. There's the comms on that with Two-Face and Obama. And also, I saw a film last night, Constantine. Hadn't seen it before. And that was basically dealing with the powers of darkness, basically. The dark and the light kind of fighting against each other. But kind of dealing with more darkness in that film. Yeah, a cloning facility was 159. What was I saying about the Constantine though? There was a reason for that. What was it? Oh yeah. So right at the end they see this sort of Lucifer character. He's in white though, with a big like kind of pocket square in a suit, but he looks kind of strange. And then his face, no, it wasn't him. It was the one before. There was a slick guy, like a creepy slick guy in a suit and kind of spivvy and like a Wall Street guy. But his face got kind of mashed off. So it looked like another Harvey Dent Two-Face character, which I thought was interesting. The Chinese elders, that's not come up for a long time. I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago, but it used to come up a lot in 2020. So the Chinese elders is 126. President Trump has said a long time ago that China's going to pay for COVID. What does he mean by that? I believe that that has something to do with the Chinese elders in terms of their funds, their wealth funds, their sovereign funds, the good Chinese elders that will want to give reparations back to the earth. And the Chinese elders comes to 159. And also John F. Kennedy Jr. comes to 159. Hey Sue, was there a troll? I missed that. I saw maybe a scuffle. Have they gone? Did someone? How was someone able to block the troll? Did someone do that? I didn't know you could do that. Have they gone? You might have verbally shut them up. So good. Well done, team. Well done, Ton Numbers team. Brilliant. Good, excellent. Good stuff. We've got 184. Thumbs up. 184 is the fifth dimension. That's deoxyribonucleic. We've got 501 in the chat. 501 makes me think of that scripture about the sons of Levi and the offering of the sacrifice. 501 Levi genes. There's all these things they put in all over the place. Cool. Thanks, Sue. Santa Claus. Okay, 159. Good team. Good tag team. Excellent. Hey, Renee. Good. So, be prepared. Enjoy. Get ready. And no doubt there'll be some real big, massive things probably in the next day or two that pop up that we'll get to divulge and talk about and extrapolate. But in my opinion, the ticker has started. So from October 19th, the Sonny Hayes film, 11:56, right at the beginning. And then Melissa, you sent me that, saying about the servers of Amazon kind of went blank. It started a few minutes before, but then when it actually went blank or blacked out was at 11:56 p.m. And that's a very precise time because that's the one they display in the Sonny Hayes film. And Sonny Hayes, the Sonny Hayes film, the F1 film, the Formula One film, that timeline I believe we're in. Well, in fact, I know we're in because it's made by White Hats. President Trump's Las Vegas hotel is mentioned in it, is shown in it. They talk about the swan, the black swan. There's all the crypto stuff in there. There's even the whole metaphor of escaping from hell. And so whatever this is, hell is 37, dome is 37. Are we under a dome? Maybe. There's lots of beautiful things in life, but there's also other things in life that aren't so good that we want to haste to and that we want to overcome. And one thing, we know that we're in a fallen world or matrix or something, whatever it is, because things die. And if you're creating things and they're good, you'd want them to live forever. And so the thing of death, sickness, misfortune, missed opportunity, all those things are going to be wiped out because we're going into the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is 107 in numbers. Quantum is 107 in numbers. Trump's is 107 in numbers. Military is 107 in numbers. And also atonement is 107 in numbers. So when we're going into the age of Aquarius, we're going into the age of atonement, meaning all things get quantumly changed and corrected on the best timeline. So all things past, present, and future become one, and then we're on the optimum timeline. And that's what the millennium is. President Trump talked about Lou Millennium in his inaugural address back in 2017 on January 20th. January 20th is 120. Sonny Hayes, when he gets in his first car in Daytona, is number 120. And then he's chasing down a car that is car 96, but it says Turner on that car, and Turner is 96. So 96 plus the number 96 comes to 192, which is October 19th. So it tells you the time scale that we're on. And so quite often with all my things, I'm just a little bit early, but we're on track, folks. We're on track. Yeah. And that bit that Melissa, there you go. That's it. And what you gave me, Melissa, the other day, a couple of days ago, about the 11:56 is brilliant. That's a brilliant timestamp because it's bang on in the front of the movie. And the F1 movie, along with all the Nolan films, the Batman films, and they feature Trump in both of them. So there's Trump Tower. The guy that wrote F1, Ethran, his name is, he wrote F1, the film, and he wrote the Transformers film, and both feature Trump Towers in both of them. So the Trump Chicago and then the Trump Vegas. And then Christopher Nolan did all the Batman films, and he features Trump Tower literally as Wayne Tower's Batman's residence. And I said ages ago, and now apparently it's on Time magazine. I just posted it. I haven't checked Time magazine, but it looks like President Trump's on the front of Time, unless someone's created that as a future thing. But it's correct in its intention anyway. Wayne's World. So the film Wayne's World. I did this back in the day with Charlie Ward. Wayne's World. You had Wayne Tower for Batman, Trump Tower, Wayne's World, Trump's World. I said that ages ago. And then shortly after that, that's when President Trump started to speak and confirm what I was saying. And he said, great job, numbers. And he mentioned my grandmother's name, Eileen, I would, on 43 seconds. And they lived in number 43 most of their lives. So it's a wonderful world we live in, folks. If you have to rest, put your feet up, look after yourself, be prepared, get the next gust of wind and move forward and enjoy. So anyway, I missed the comparison. I didn't see that. I have to scroll back. What was it? I don't know if I can scroll back. Can I scroll back? Oh, I can. I didn't know I can do that. I haven't done it in other languages, but that would be an interesting exercise. The one I use is simple English gematria, Alex. So it's English, but I'm sure that gematria would work in other languages. There'll be different versions, but it'll be interesting. There'll be probably some direct correspondence as well. So we got 222 in the thumbs up, which is simple gematria. It's simple English gematria is 222. 1,000 years apiece, 222. It's also my birthday. February the 15th, 222. Gray's Sports Almanac, 222. Marty McFly. Am I Marty McFly? Maybe one of them. One thing, Alex, it's a good question. So, you know the word or two words for I am in French. Do you know what the words in French for I am are? Je suis. So je suis is Jesus with an I in it. And Jesus comes to 74, which is gematria. So that's how it works, folks, you see. Did you? Where did you send that, Matt? Did you post it or email? Where did you send the picture of COTA? Circuit of the Americas 39. Where did that? So je suis, yeah, je suis is Jesus with an I in there. You see? I Jesus. And which actually comes to Circuit 83, interestingly enough. Comes to Nazareth 83. Comes to Faithful 83. Comes to Psychic 83. But je suis is I am. And Jesus is 74, which is gematria, you see. Here's another one for you about the French language. So that's it, the highest timeline. So what is known as the language of love? Hands up or thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Type it in the chat. Put it in the comments. What language is known as the language of love? Like a real, you've got English, you've got German. There's a language that they call the language of love. What is it? There you go, French. And if you do the numbers on French, what does it come to? So F is 6, R is 18, E is 5, N is 14, C is 3, H is 8. What does that come to in numbers? If you spell the word French in numbers, what does it come to? And we've got 504 in the chat because it comes to love. Well, it comes to 54. I gave the game away. It comes to 54. So French, FRENCH comes to 54. And we have 54. We have 504 in the chat right now. And if you spell the word love, it comes to 54. So the numbers are always true, you see. So it's coded everywhere. So love comes to 54. French comes to 54. What's the language of love? It's 50. It's French. It's 54. You see how that works, folks? Does that make sense? And when I was saying that, we had it's gone to 503 now, but we had a 504 in the chat. Does that make sense, Alex? Anyone else? Does that make sense? 504, 54. There you go. And orbs 54. And I used to get orbs in my videos when I was back in London. I'd get the orbs whizzing around behind me all the time. And now when I'm out and about, I get the halo. I get the glow. I get my Ready Brett glow all over my arm, my shield of faith, my energy. So anyway, cool. All right, folks, I'll see you tomorrow. But look at the description below. Check out the morphogenic chi balls. You get those and you got them for life. You don't have to purchase them again. And they keep it's a wonderful kind of creamy, velvety texture to the water. It's lovely. So like I said, I do it every morning. I'll prepare it at night, just pour the water in, clean distilled water with electrolytes, and then boom, put it so it gets the morning sun. And then when I wake up, I drink it down and it's lovely. So cool. All right, folks, I'll see you tomorrow. And who knows what could happen in between now and then. So 246 in the chat, or thumbs up. That's in the blink of an eye. 246. God bless you. Take care. Thanks. Bye.